I need sound. Where's the sound guy? Come on.
Fuck you, I am your sound, I am your lights, I am your camera.
I've got no guitar in my monitor.
Come on. You're my hat guy, you're my makeup guy. You're the camera guy.
Yeah, I am your hat guy, I got your hat.
Yeah. You're my guy. Okay, we ready?
Sure.
Let's get this fucking thing on the...
Brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Brought to you by Mountain Dew and the Super Suckers.
Full terror soul. I didn't go. It's a gift.
Here we are with a new episode of Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And today we are going to discuss the first episode of Penguin because it was kind of messed up how they did an episode on a Thursday and then they went a whole week and a half before episode 2. So we'll just discuss episode 1. We probably won't do it in huge length. Maybe it'll be the first 20 minutes, maybe, if we get that long, because I do want to discuss the episode, what I thought about it.
You were taking notes when I woke up this morning.
I was, because I really enjoy it. Brad hasn't seen it yet, but he's okay with the discussion, because I think he'll still take part, and then Levi has seen it, but doesn't remember a whole lot. And then we're going to discuss Mick Foley.
I don't remember enough of it.
Because I had WWE legend and Hall of Famer Mick Foley and brought him to Logansport, Indiana and put him on the record farm stage. And it was a spectacle and an event. And
he's fantastic.
And I've had a lot of comments and a lot of people talk to me about everything. So I want to talk about that and just the event in general and Mick Foley himself. So I will start with Penguin. And what I'll start with is that I thoroughly enjoy the Sopranos gangster underworld vibe that it gives. Yeah. It's very much keeps the tone of the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson,
Sparkle Boy,
because it was dark. It was a little emo-ish.
That's what we love here.
And the Penguin keeps that dark tone. I think out of all the superheroes in any universe, DC, Marvel, Batman, to me, is depicted the best when it comes to the dark, dank underbelly of everything. I think they try to do it a little bit with Daredevil and Marvel.
Yeah. Super greasy.
But I think
Grease boy.
I think Batman and his character, along with his rogues gallery of bad guys, fits that mold the best. I love how they seem to have molded him a lot after Tony Soprano. I like at the beginning when he's talking about how there was a small-time gangster in the neighborhood where he grew up, and and he knew everybody's name, and he said hi to everybody. And he's telling this story to Falcone's son, who now is the boss. Because at the end of Batman, the movie, Carmine Falcone gets killed. So at the beginning of Penguin, which is only a week after the ending of Batman.
Oh, it's that. I didn't know it was
it's
that
a week.
close.
Alberto Falcone, his son, has taken over the business. And so
for a very short time.
He's telling this story about how, there's more than one way to lead. If you learn everybody's names, if you're kind to everybody, when you die, they will throw you a parade. It's kind of almost shows that the Penguin, doesn't just care about money and fame and fortune. He cares about being revered. He wants to be
a legend.
He wants people to...
He wants to be the next Al Capone.
He wants people to love him. He wants the fanfare. He wants to be revered. He wants to be... he's going to learn your name so that you can feel like you're on his level when he walks by and says hi.
But then also have people killed and grift over every fucking body he can. And
Correct.
Just crime.
Just be a complete and
Piece of
utter
shit.
behind the scenes gangster while everybody that's not intertwined in his life thinks that he's a saint.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, Suedo Robin Hood.
Yes. Yeah, basically.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Like
So
ugly.
Yeah.
So he's telling the
His feet
story.
be fucking ugly.
Yeah, they show his foot and it's all deformed. But
Because
I
it
don't need to see people's feet.
well, it shows you why he's walking.
Why
the way
he's-
he does.
'cause he-
Because
he walks with the
toe's
penguin.
like his big toes like fucking broken and hooked around the rest of his toes in the front. Like it's all sorts of fucked up.
So that's why he walks with the
With the
penguin
limp.
wobble. And it shows him in the rain with the penguin wobble and the umbrella at the beginning, which is kind of cool. But yeah, he's telling this story to Alberto, and Alberto laughs at him and tells him, is that what you want me to be, small time, so you can, that's your dream, and it's ridiculous, and you're stupid. And he's belittling him, and he just pulls out a gun and blows him away. Like, he just blows him away, and then starts laughing, and then he goes, oh, fuck, when he realized he just killed the boss, and he's got to figure out how he's going to explain that he killed the boss. So that's where the story starts. And basically, the whole entire episode is him playing the Falcones came into power because Carmine ratted out Salvatore Moroni and stole his empire to become the Falcone Empire. So first it was the Moronis, and then it was the Falcones. So basically,
So he's just following tradition.
So what the Penguin is doing is
he's fighting both of, or standing in the middle between both of them.
He is pitting them against each other.
Gotcha.
So he takes the body. He goes and sees Moroni. There's a ring that Alberto's wearing that Carmine wore that he took from Moroni when he ratted him out. And Penguin takes that ring and he goes sees Moroni at prison, and he gives him the ring and he tells him that he's gonna be his inside guy. So I'm gonna infiltrate.
He does it like a baller though, because they have this whole conversation, and then as he's like, he's like, I don't want to deal with you, go away. Penguin's like, okay, stands up, starts walking away. He's like, well, I do have something, and he pulls out this ring, starts looking at it, just sets it down on the table and walks away. And the guy's like, how the fuck do you have this?
Right.
Yeah, so he's like, he tells Moroni, I can be your inside guy with the Falcones. I can, I'll be the guy feeding you information about what they're doing and how they're doing this. And then he's playing the Falcones because he's telling them that he's got this, I got this new drug, which was Alberto Falcone's idea. I got this new drug, I'm going to put it on the streets and blah, blah, blah. So what he does, the sister shows up. So Falcone had a daughter and a son, and the daughter was in Arkham because she went crazy. Well, she slaughtered 15 people.
She's fucking psychopathic.
Yeah, and she doesn't trust Oswald, and they did change his name. It's not Oswald Cobblepot, it's Oswald Cobb. They took the Cobblepot out, so they just called him Cobb. And New Rockstars said,
I didn't watch the New Rockstars.
They said that they did that because Cobblepot sounds aristocratic, and Penguin's always been portrayed as an aristocrat.
Cobblepot sounds like children's book.
So
that's what I think.
Yeah.
Mr. Cobblepot.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So they dropped that and just call him Oswald Cobb. And through most of the show, they just call him Oz.
Yeah.
I'd call him Corn.
So, or Corn.
God damn,
It wouldn't last long. Corn.
So, but anyway, so the daughter shows up, and Penguin's kind of surprised, and she's like,
I like this bitch.
She's out of Arkham, and
was there a reason she killed 50? Like, did she just
snapped? She just snapped.
Yeah,
grocery store.
I was gonna say they don't really give any info. They just basically repeatedly tell you that she's psycho.
That she's psychotic.
Like towards the end of the episode, fucking her and Cobblepot are talking, and they've kidnapped a kid that was vandalizing Oswald's car at the beginning of the episode that he had shot at right after he killed Alberto, because Alberto's body was in his trunk, so he was trying to get the kids away from it, and she starts screaming. She's like, "Oh, do you want me to live up to my reputation? Do you want me to show you how crazy I am?" And then Oswald's just sitting there, and she pulls a gun and just guns the kid down for no fucking reason.
Yeah, and they take razor wire because she's convinced that Oz killed her brother.
Yeah,
like he's missing because of him, which he is, but he's telling her he's not. And her henchman takes razor wire and puts it in his armpit and starts like cutting his arm with the razor wire. Yeah,
I couldn't tell if it was piano wire or razor wire or
and
what it was.
So he's like completely naked, strapped to a chair, and they're cutting his armpit, and he's screaming.
Penguin?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, and she's like nuts. Like she is screaming in his face, and she is like, it's probably the most psychotic character. Her dialogue in that whole entire scene was very reminiscent of Heath Ledger in Batman. Like she's just like unhinged, and
a lot more violent though.
Yes, yeah. Well, I don't know if you could call it a lot more violent.
A lot more crazy.
Different flavor.
Yeah.
So,
well, like Joker always, to me, to kind of sidetrack with Heath Ledger's Joker, always seemed like it was a calculated crazy. Like he wasn't really crazy; he was just portraying it that way. She seems genuinely fucking nuts.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I think his was a little calculated too, but yeah, no, she is just nuts. She knows something's going on, and she is mentally snapping
because she was really attached to her brother.
Yeah. So, like next thing you know, she's like screaming at him, and you hear a car come flying in and wrecks in front of the mansion that she lives in, the Falcone mansion, and it's like she goes running out, and it's her dead brother in a trunk of a car, and the trunk lid says payback, and then his pinky that had the Maroni ring on it has been cut off. So so his plan is to, like, basically, now the Maronis, because they have a choice, but they're going to want to take credit for killing Alberto. So now he's just pitted the two families against each other. Right. So he's, like, his plan was to pit them against each other so that he can play both sides. And basically, once they're done annihilating each other, he can take the throne. Like, because he feels like that's the easiest way to get there.
Right.
My favorite bit of conversation was after that, where he's talking to Vic, and he's like, "I thought we said cut the head off and just the pinky. You crashed the car, the pinky's missing, and the whole fucking body's in the trunk." And Vic, this kid is like, I was going for it, and I got the pinky cut, and then I had the knife up against the throat, and I'm like, and then I start thinking about the spine, and like, how do I get in between it, and like, do I go from the front into the trachea? Do I like cut through all that, or do I come from the back and just give it a good, like, he's like, and then I started to get queasy, and he's like, I just couldn't do it. Oz is like, all right, kid, I get it. You did a good job. You're doing good. You're a good up-and-comer, but Jesus Christ, kid.
Yeah, so basically where the kid came from was after he killed Alberto, he brought his body down to his car. He wasn't in the trunk when the kids were...
No,
the kids were stealing the tires, and he's carrying the body to his car, and the kids are trying to steal his tires, and he starts shooting at them, and all the kids get away but one, and his name's Victor Alvarez, I think is what his name is, and he gets this kid, and he's got a hold of him, and of course he's got a dead body next to him in a trash bag, and he's got this kid, and the kid starts like stuttering, and he's like scared shitless, and Penguin takes pity on him, and he's just like, I'm not gonna kill you, kid, but this guy fucking, he made fun of me, he belittled me, like, so you fuck with me, I'll kill you. And he goes, but other than that, we're in this together now. Like, you know that I killed this guy. He's right here. You're going to help me put him in the trunk, and now you're an accessory, so you're my bitch.
Yeah, he's like, give me your ID. I own you now.
Yeah, he's like, I own you now. You're mine. And so this kid is, like, through the whole episode is, like, helping him do, And at one point, they take this bus ride. After they leave Maroney's at the... I thought this was funny. After they leave Maroney's at the jail, they take this long bus ride, and they get in this old wagon, maybe a Subaru wagon or something. And Oz turns on the car, and Victor's in the passenger seat, and 9 to 5 comes on by Dolly Parton. It's like it's in the tape player in the middle of the song, and it pans out and shows Victor in the passenger seat. He's got this smile on his face, like, holy fuck, this guy's listening to 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. And they drive, and they go to Oz's mom's house. So he just lives in a borough of Gotham, and because Gotham's got like 9 boroughs, New York's got 5, but
Well, they always say that Gotham was modeled after Chicago. Because Chicago does have boroughs as well.
Oh, I guess I don't think about that.
Yeah.
I never hear anyone. I always think of New York when I hear boroughs.
So he goes to one of the boroughs. It's his mom. He's like taking care of her. Again, another throwback to The Sopranos. His relationship with his mom is very reminiscent of Tony and his mom from The Sopranos, where he's taking care of her. She's kind of lucid, but she's kind of not.
Yeah.
She tells him to watch out and be careful. He tells her that he killed fucking Alberto Falcone.
And she's expecting her to freak out.
And she's like, you need to make sure you take care of yourself, Oswald. Like, and it's like she's the only one that calls him by his full name. Like, everybody else calls him Oz. And, but yeah, this kid is she's like, who is this? Like, and he's just a kid. And so he's just kind of along for the ride, the kid is. But they come up with this whole fucking plan. And then that's when the kid drives the car in, and he's talking to the kid. And the kid's like explaining, like, I just couldn't cut the head off. I just couldn't do it. So then they're drinking suicide slushies from the fucking corner store, and he's telling the kid,
slush puppies, specifically slush puppies,
suicide. He goes, it's a lot better when you mix all of them in the kid. And he's like, yeah, it's all right. And he goes, no, it's not. It's fucking great. And he's like, I'm going to get this new shipment of drugs. And because the big drug in Batman is drops. They're eye drops. And it's like ecstasy, but it's in liquid form. Basically, that's how I kind of got it. And from the movie.
It's ecstasy. Ecstasy can come. That, fun fact, not to bring up too many normal topics, but the P. Diddy 1000 baby lotion, bottles of baby oil, that's rumored to be ecstasy. GHB specifically, liquid ecstasy.
So
because there's no reason to have that many
bottles of baby oil?
Yeah.
Well,
and GHB can soak through the skin, and it's a mixture of ecstasy. It's like an ecstasy, but it's also like a roofie. So it gets you high like Molly and ecstasy do, where you want to dance and have fun. You won't remember any of it like a roofie.
So they got
some scary shit.
Yeah. So they do these drops. That's the big drug. And he's like, drops are yesterday's world, kid. Like, we're going to get this new shipment of this badass drug that's coming in next week. And then I'm just going to start. I'm going to, like, the next thing, like, we're going to take over this town. I'm going to have you by my side the whole entire time. Like, you take care of me, I'll take care of you. And he's, like, telling this, And then it just kind of pans out where they're just basically sitting on a park bench in the borough.
Almost like dad and son.
That they both grew up in, and it pans out, and then it goes to the end credits. And the end credits song is 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
Now, there was something after the credits, but I could not get my HBO Max to load it. Like, because I used my computer, I could scroll my mouse over, and it, like, I could see scenes of Oswald doing something, but every time I click it, it just gave me a spinning loading bar of death. And I'm like, all right, close out the page, refresh it. Come back, try to hit resume it, restart the whole show. I'm like, all right, skip to that spot, loading wheel. Skip before it, and it would go play all the way up, hit that spot, loading wheel. I'm like...
I did not go all the way to the end, so I'll have to check that out. But HBO is also notorious, not like Disney. HBO is also notorious for, at the end, they show highlights for the next episode.
Oh.
So it could have been highlights for the next episode.
Yeah.
But very, very dark, very dank, very just curmudgeonly.
I mean, it's Gotham.
It's Gotham,
yeah,
and it's been destroyed. Like, and they explain at the beginning of the movie, like, there's news stations covering, so and so's been killed, and so and so's been killed, and here's Batman rescuing people on top of Gotham Square Garden, and which is Madison Square Garden, and this and that and this and that. So, it like kind of ran you up to. After the Riddler, it even shows the Riddler. After the Riddler blew up half of Gotham, we're all in disarray. And what are we gonna do? Falcone's dead. Maroni's in jail. Who's the next one to step up and take over the underworld? And so it very much does that all at the beginning. And so you don't really have to watch Batman. They kind of catch you up to speed. I thought the Batman movie was very good. It was just too long. The rumor is that the next one is going to take place shortly after Penguin and be in the winter, and that Mr. Freeze is going to be the villain.
Good. We haven't had a good Mr. Freeze since Arnold.
I still think he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, he caught some shit.
That's what I'm saying. Arnold was a good one.
Yeah.
Like that over-the-top chrome, like all the fucking set design of his...
I actually saw...
He went well with the movie, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to say it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I saw him and Uma Thurman were taking pictures and posting pictures together because it was the...
25th anniversary.
Yeah, it was...
It wouldn't have been 25th, probably more like 35th. Probably.
I don't remember how many it was. All I remember is people were taking pictures, and they had taken a picture of them now, and then they posted a picture of them back then.
I still feel, and Arnold did well, like fit in that movie well. I wish they would do a more, and I know he's not the traditional one. I wish they would do a more live action closer to the animated series. I really liked
Kevin Conroy animated series.
Yeah. I really liked
a more stiff and rigid old guy kind of type.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, like
I'm a smart doctor of something.
Yeah, like the doctor that like only turned bad because his wife died and he was trying to figure out
trying to save her.
He was trying to save like that more just brute like
less muscle.
That broken man.
Fucking tech.
Yeah, big.
I like the over the top, but that was I don't know. See,
the Mr.
Freeze in the animated series was always one of them I didn't necessarily like that much because it was like he had no real direction. He had no purpose to be so angry, and like he wasn't figuring nothing out by bringing terror to people. So it was like I don't know. I always thought he was like he was a crazy man before the shit happened. It was just this
like if you spun him like I like the aesthetic and the backstory of the animated series one. If you turned him into a guy that is like okay, so they went kind of a different direction with Riddler, like not totally.
I like
because he still did the Riddler thing, but I mean, he was definitely crazy. Like it was a conspiracy theory Riddler, and I thought they did a really good job with it in the first movie. If they played Mr. Freeze like a guy that was like, okay, so his wife died, he cryogenically freezes her, but he can't figure out how to reanimate her, so he becomes a serial killer that is just killing people, freezing them, and trying to reanimate them back to life. Like almost like a Dr. Frankenstein type.
Yeah.
Where like that is like people are just missing and nobody can figure out like you just end up like he just starts piling up fucking bodies. Like because he's trying to and then like so then Batman is trying to find this guy who's like
full Nazi scientist.
Like basically with like all this high like he's obviously got all this high tech shit. And then, like, so he's got enough high-tech stuff that he can actually, he's imposing to Batman, but he is a threat because he is just wiping out people.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing to keep him separated from an anti-hero type.
Correct.
You gotta make him fucking actually batshit crazy.
Right.
But I still think, like, I think the result of his experiments causing the affliction with his wife should be first and foremost. So like it indicates that he was already crazy before he did it, but then he blamed the world for an accident he caused.
Right. Like so, maybe he's the one that kills his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of define that because otherwise it's like, oh, we start like Arnold, I feel like we liked him and he's just trying to fucking run Gotham too. He's not necessarily killing people. He's just like Santa Claus, Winter Wonderland.
Yeah. See, I don't want him the threat to be that he wants to take over the world.
Yeah.
I think that's played out. I think it wants to be, I want to see him trying to like right a wrong that he did by wiping humanity out. Like little by little, not trying to take it over, but trying to figure out how to right the wrong that he did.
Also, his like the reason his self is in a condition of that whole freezing.
Right, like whatever happened.
Self-experimentation.
Do you think it should be self-experiment, or do you think it should be like he was farther away from the accident by a few feet kind of thing? Like,
you could even do it to where you could even do it to maybe they were both doing something in a lab and the bombs by the Riddler fucking
or you know like just their equipment failed.
I feel like that's almost too close to trying to make him a hero though. I know he's still killing people, but having a villain kill another villain's person, I feel like would turn him trying to be like, I'll stop people like that rather than like I'm gonna go kill people.
But
picture a lab.
Picture this: we were both butt naked.
Picture a lab with him and his wife, and they're trying to fucking uncryogenically freeze an experiment on an animal. And he's pushing the fucking limits, and she's saying, no, stop. And he's like, no, we gotta do it. And then it blows up. And it's just like, all you see is like...
I see,
all kinds of fucking creepy animals that have been frozen for them to figure out. And like, that's been their whole career path. So not only is he a piece of shit, but so is his wife. So like...
And now he's been inflicted, and she's dead, and he freezes her.
But now he moves on to yours with the bodies.
But now he's just piling up bodies to try to save her. That's
so why we couldn't figure
So Matt Reeves, if he really is, you need to listen to us. That we just wrote your next fucking
cast
movie.
me as Freeze.
You are welcome.
I'll be Freeze.
So. Yeah, I think
I just want to be a dead body.
And
I get a bald head.
And to me, that is something that you can do for a second movie, because I think the third of a trilogy for this Batman has to be, you have to wait and do the Joker third.
No, I don't want a Joker. Give me a good Two-Face. We haven't gotten a good Two-Face. Well, we got fucking...
But they introduced the Joker
Dick
in the
teased
first...
in the fucking... with Harvey Dent and fucking the Nolan trilogy.
Where is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they teased the Joker in the first movie,
did.
and I'm sure they'll tease him in this movie. But I think they'll wait.
Maybe they'll do the Thanos treatment. Maybe they finally took a note from how Marvel succeeded in their first phases, and they're like, tease him for every movie. And then
tease him forever.
Fucking 6 years from now, we'll finally give him
the other thing
that's going to be the big for the Batman universe.
Well, the other thing that they could do that would be completely badass is at the end of the first movie. Have you seen the first movie? You haven't, have you?
No.
So you haven't seen Sparkle Boy?
No. So at the end of the first, at the end of the first movie,
it's honestly good.
Riddler's in his jail cell. And Joker is he's in Arkham, and the Joker's next to him, and the Joker starts talking to him. That's either the after credit or end of the movie. I can't remember. It's one of those.
Well, I remember there was something towards the end of the movie, and then at the I think it was after credits we saw who he was talking to.
Yeah, so there was that whole thing. There was that whole interaction. At the end of the second movie, you do the same thing with Mr. Freeze. And in the third movie,
Poison Ivy, Two-Face.
Or it begins with the Joker breaking the three of them out, and it is just mass fucking chaos.
I think you gotta keep Poison Ivy and Two-Face separate. And I think Poison Ivy has she been present in anything? Okay, so like I don't think she should start in the asylum. You only have a couple people starting the asylum. Well, because otherwise it's like, what, is everybody just here?
Well, that's what I was saying with that is you could do a shit ton of movies and just make all of them, every villain slowly getting caught where Joker's already sitting, and then Joker's like, okay, now that I've amassed all the villains, and I've talked to you all, let's break out of here and just fuck shit up.
Would you pair Bane and Poison Ivy again in the same? Like, give a twofer, you know what I mean? Because, like, Scarecrow and fucking Clay Dude could pair up.
Yeah, for sure.
Clay Dude?
Yeah, for sure.
I hated that guy.
And I enjoyed Play-Doh.
His fucking name.
Fucking Silly Putty.
Clayface.
Clayface. Is it Clayface?
It's Clayface. Okay. Yeah, it's Clayface.
I'm going to continue to call him Play-Doh, but...
Yeah, it's Clayface. I enjoyed the Poison Ivy Bane team up.
You know what we need?
We
just need another Catwoman Bane team up. Another Catwoman Bane movie featuring Batman.
I don't like that Bane.
I'm not a huge fan of that Bane.
No.
You don't like that voice?
No, not at all. That's not intimidating. It's like, I'm out of the movie now. Like, as soon as he speaks, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that Bane. I like the Poison Ivy Bane, the luchador wrestler Bane.
Dude, the fucking strong poison coursing through it. Like,
actual juicing.
Yeah. Like, that's the fucking Bane in comics and everything everywhere.
Animated series, the fucking, the first set of movies.
They pair well together, so like if you're really wanting to create a big team, you could have a couple of those like pair people.
I'm disappointed that this Penguin Batman, like this universe, is not going to be part of James Gunn's universe.
Is Christopher Walken in it at all? It did Levi fart.
I did.
I think he did.
I did.
Yeah, it's not fun.
You kept it quiet.
It's not fun.
The motherfucking fart had a face.
Wow. Whew. But
my mouth.
But I don't like that it's not going to be part of James Gunn. Like James Gunn's universe is going to have their own Batman and their own.
Are my eyebrows still here?
Yeah. Fucking, I know my nose hairs aren't. It's fucking, they fried. Whew. Man, you could
James Gunn. That's why you brought that up, because it smells like shit in here.
God damn. Ooh. Hold on, my eyes are watering.
Better than Snyder. If it was a Snyder fart, we'd be fucking dead.
We'd be dead by now. Fucking, it would have just been a gas cloud behind his fucking chair.
You'd have seen it.
Yeah, we wouldn't need mask. I'm not so sure that I don't need a mask. Like, why isn't it going away? Like,
you were in the fart.
God.
Alright, you're over exaggerating it a little bit here, buddy.
It's not going away though. I gotta get something else in my nose.
I think my clothes are staying.
I'm gonna smell that the rest of my fucking day. It's stuck in my fucking mustache. It's fucking terrible. I'm gonna have to shave just to get the smell out.
Oh man.
You all act like I shit in your mouth.
You kind of did. I feel like you did. I feel violated.
Probably a penguin broke his foot trying to get away from one of these fucking parts.
Man. Keep you in a fucking... Can't believe you locked us in this room with you and did that. All right, we're going to transition from Penguin and Levi's ass. This is a great transition point.
To how to properly do CPR.
How to have a better diet not to kill two people you podcast with?
Yeah.
I mean, a good diet usually gives you stinky farts. So.
Yeah.
Can you get over yourself? God damn, Dad.
I can't. It's lingering. Like, I can still smell it. So, anyway.
Why does my beard taste like?
That's why I haven't opened this drink yet. I don't want it to taste like it. That's better. Whatever you just, nicotine you just blew, it smells better.
Yeah.
Kill this quicker. So anyway, Jesus. I'll take the secondhand smoke. Just fucking blow it in my face. Fucking shit.
Fuck.
Let's transition to Mick Foley. Friday night, we had Mick Foley in Logansport.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was an event. It was an event. It went fantastically.
Yeah.
Everything could not have been better. To quote, and I appreciated this so much from Jason McKeever, who was the photographer taking the pictures for the event. He said that he went home and walked in the door and said to his wife that you are not going to believe the night that I had. It was nothing short of magical. Like, it was just, like, it was unbelievable. And it really was, like Mick almost, like, made it seem like it was an inconvenience if he asked for anything. He was very, like, hey, do you need anything? Do you need a water? Do you need a Monster? Do you need this? Do you need that? And he's like, no, I'm good. Are you all right? Do you need to take a break? No, I can do this all night long. Like, I'll sit here as long as you guys want me to. Like, I mean, and he took 4 pictures with everybody, 2 without the mask, and then 2 with the Mankind mask on. So, like, he would switch back and forth. When I was trying to take people's information down so that I could email them out the photos. And sometimes the emails were long, and I couldn't hear very well because it was loud. There was probably 200 people in the building. At least 250.
The line was steady from the front of the building to out the door for most of it.
Yeah.
It was all the way from one end of the building to the other. I've never seen a line that fucking long.
Well, Kyla was telling me when she went, because she took her grandpa, it was, when they walked out, it was out the building and then out and around the building.
See, I never seen it outside of the building. I kind of just lingered inside and didn't really. I monitored the line. Every time we came in, it was a different set of people, but it was just as long.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, it moved fast, too. Like,
yeah.
You guys did really well.
Yeah, I tried to get them through. I almost got them through too fast because we got done in about an hour and a half. Well, not an hour and a half, he was doing it from 6 to 9, and we slowed down about 8. So we could have taken a little more time, but I'm glad we didn't. I did have some stragglers that came in at the last minute, but I'm glad we didn't because I think Mick enjoyed that little break at the end. But if I had a lull where I'm taking information down and like he's throwing on the mask and going live, hey, I'm at Savini Comics and the Bonus Pints in Logansport, Indiana, and then he's going live on Instagram and he's taping a cameo. Like, I mean, he's literally like putting on the mask and then talking like Mankind and flipping it. Like, he'd take his phone down and flip it off and put his phone back up and go, wasn't that crazy? Mankind was just here. Like, he's acting like he's two different people. Like, it was fantastic. And he was doing that all night long, and Jason just kept taking photos of him while he was doing it. And he was just the nicest guy. I couldn't believe it when I got the email from the agent. I'm sure Cody doesn't listen to the podcast, but if she does, I appreciate everything that she did for me. And she said, when Mick gets close, he's going to either call or text. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So my phone rings and it's a New York number and I answer it. And he's like, is this Nick? This is Mick Foley. And I'm like, my first thought was, holy fuck, I'm on the phone with Mick Foley.
Right.
Like, dude, contain yourself. Yeah. like, yeah.
Oh, first thing this motherfucker does is come up and he's like, I have Mick Foley. Like, look at these text conversations. I have Mick Foley's number.
Yeah.
He found it. He made a WWE emoji.
Like, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I can't believe that I'm on the phone with him. And he had leftovers from when he stopped and he ate from Cracker Barrel or Red Lobster or wherever it was. He didn't want food from the restaurant. He just wanted to eat his leftovers, which was mind-blowing. They would have loved to have made him food, but he didn't want to made
him anything
he didn't want to inconvenience anybody. He didn't want to be in the way. He just and
everything I heard, he sounds like it was just wonderful.
He was on point to not forget like everything that he like you guys wanted the whole picture, and like I seen his attention to making sure you guys got the staff picture.
Right.
And like he was like on it to make sure everything was covered.
Yeah, that's and awesome. There was a couple of people, a lady and her daughter specifically, that they had walked up and he signed, and then they came up and he took the photos, and then they came back down and she goes, I just want to tell you, my husband and I are huge wrestling fans. So he's gonna love that we just, we're teaching our daughter about it, and she was probably 12, and and he would have loved to have been here, but he's stationed in San Diego. And he goes, stationed in San Diego? And she goes, yeah, I don't know if he's in the Army. I didn't hear that, but he's in the military and he's stationed in San Diego. He goes, give me your phone. And she goes, what? And he goes, give me your phone. And he said, pull up video. And then she pulled up video, and he filmed a video for her husband. What's your husband's name? Hey, Steve, this is Mick Foley. Just want to thank you for your service, and your wife and daughter are here, and we just took pictures. And that's awesome. So everybody that came through that he was talking to that had somebody that couldn't make it, or hey, my dad loves you, but like he lives in Michigan or lives in, like, he was like, give me your phone. Like, everybody was just, he was like, give me your phone, I'll film a video.
That's awesome.
And it was just great. It was just great. He wanted to take that time to show the fans, and blew my mind that he even said this. And I've been telling people this too. Evan Jones was one that I was talking to, and he goes, you've got to be kidding me. And I said, no, this is... Rick Duncan was another one that I told last night. He goes, he did what? I told him, I said, this was a dream come true for me. I really enjoyed it. Like, I had fun. Like, I always wanted to meet you. You were my golden goose when I opened this store a year and a half ago. And he goes, I do pretty good. I do pretty good. And he goes, you got those tier 1 guys, Rock, Austin, Triple H, Undertaker. He goes, they won't come to these small towns. Like, they don't do Comic-Cons very often. He goes, so that means like us tier 2 guys can come to these small towns and do the Comic-Cons, and we have really good turnouts, and I love seeing the people, and the people love that they can see me. And he finished talking, and all I could think to myself was, what makes you think you're not tier 1?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck makes you think you're not tier 1?
Mick Foley ranks a little bit higher than most of the guys you even mentioned.
Right. I can't think of... Yeah. I don't think of Rock, Austin, and Taker without Mankind.
No, that
like I don't like.
It's like the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, that was 97 to 2000. 97 to 2000, the four biggest names in wrestling were Rock, Austin, Undertaker, and Mankind. Like, to me, I'm like, dude, for the fact that he doesn't even put himself in that category is fucking mind-blowing to me.
And what's, like, one of the single most amazing moments in wrestling of all fucking time? Him on top of the cage.
Him on top of the cage.
Him on top of the fucking cage. Everybody can recall that, regardless of how much fucking wrestling you watch.
Yeah. I was just saying, also no matter age, because I know that, you know that, you know that.
Yeah, that's not very common.
I was just saying, we spent 30 fucking years between the three of us.
I remember it.
Right. I remember watching the pay-per-view and him getting chucked off that cage.
I've seen so many documentary clips and people talking about it.
Okay, so when I was younger, we would pretend to be the wrestlers, and he was probably the one I pretended to be the most.
Everyone wanted to be him.
Well, I'd always fucking be the first one to grab a sock. Like, every fucking time. Dude, we loved Socko, man. Like, that was our shit as kids. For some reason, we fucking ate it up because everybody tried to, present sock puppets to you when you're a fucking kid. And this guy's like, I'm gonna smack you with it.
Yeah, he actually
shove it down your throat.
Yeah.
So there were multiple people that brought socks. There was a guy, God love him, fucking fantastic.
Take off his sock.
He was carrying a fucking, like, he had went to Family Dollar down the street and he had a whole package of fucking tube socks.
See, I had joked about
and
that.
He ripped it open and opened it up, and Mick signed it, and then Mick was like, he told him, he said, okay. And I heard him do it the first time. He had everybody that he had sign the sock. He did this with. The first guy that he did it with, I was like, when I heard him say it, I had to stop what I was doing and look. Because I heard him go, now, what I'm going to do is grab my wrist, and I need you to do this. And the guy was like, okay. Mick signs the sock, puts it on his hand, and the guy grabs his wrist, and then Mick goes at him, and they took the picture like this.
That's awesome.
And I was like, that is fantastic.
That's awesome.
So they posed like that while fucking Jason... and then he takes it off and hands him the sock. And the last guy that did the autograph was Michael Alvarez's buddy that was driving through a hurricane in Indianapolis trying to get there before we shut everything down. And he runs up, and I said, Michael already paid for you. I said, what picture do you want? And Mick said, we only got one more, right? And I said, yeah, it's this guy. He's got to pick a picture. And the guy looked at him, and he goes, can I take off my sock? And Mick looks at him. Yeah, get your ass up here. So the guy literally took his slides off. He had Adidas slides on. Took his slides off, took off his sock, and Mick signed it for him. I don't think Mick put it on his hand, but Mick signed it for him and gave it to him.
That's awesome.
And took pictures with him. But yeah, he was like, yeah, get up here. I'll sign your dirty sock. So yeah. Like I said, I couldn't believe it. That he was that nice. And then I said, hey, I know you got to go to Kalamazoo. He was in Kalamazoo yesterday, Michigan. And I said, can you stay for a couple of songs with the band? And he's like, I'm going to stay for 3. And I said, oh, okay. I said, do you want to find a quiet place? Do you want me to make somebody move so you can sit at the table? And he goes, can I just sit right here on the stage? And I went to the band and I was like, Mick wants to sit on the stage. And they were like, wherever Mr. Foley wants to sit, we will work around him. And they literally did. Usually amps are where he's at, and they scattered amps, on the floor and around where, and they band had to stand in a weird, in the doorway.
I love that orientation. Don't get me wrong. It was a new experience to have him stand like that.
But yeah, and they were
on their spots.
They were wherever Mr. Foley wants to sit. If he's staying for the music, let him sit.
Full table
then
and everything.
yeah. Awesome. So when they when they found out that he was staying, and okay, so for the listeners that don't know, the band that played after Mick Foley was the Foleys. They are a punk rock band that dress like wrestlers, and specifically 3 of the 5 members dressed like Mankind, Dude Love, and Cactus Jack, which are the 3 characters that Mick Foley plays. The other 2, one's a luchador, and the other's like a pilot. He had like a pilot hat on. But anyway, they all wear costumes. The guy had like the floppy pilot ears.
Wasn't that reminiscent of something?
I didn't think that was anything Mick did.
I'm going to do some digging. And I'm going to pull up some history you can't
watching
remember.
Something like his early days.
It's like a super deep cut to the first fucking backyard wrestling match he ever did. He didn't have nothing.
You'll find a grainy footage of it on YouTube nowadays.
His fucking mask is made up of the cut up parts of that old fucking bomber helmet.
That could have been. That could have been. But anyway, so the band, the band took a picture with him. I mean, they paid for the photo, and they all stood with him, and he's like this with the band members. Half of them dressed like him. In the thing, he loved. They got so much stuff signed, and they paid for it all. Those guys were fantastic.
They probably spent the money they made to fucking get their shit.
No, I'm not kidding you. They were
how long have they been dressing as the motherfucker? I'd have paid everything.
I got to talk with the guys in the band quite a bit. They were outside interacting with anybody who would stay next to them and talk. They were such nice guys.
And they never took off their fucking masks or anything.
No, not the whole night.
Yeah.
In fact, at one point, was it Professor Payne?
Yeah,
Professor Payne.
That's the lead singer,
the referee with the luchador.
Yeah, okay. I saw the pictures.
Talking with Tony about editors and video and stuff like that, and he's just sitting there talking, luchador mask on, Kate fucking referee shirt, and they're kind of talking business, linking contact information.
That's
shit
fucking
like that. And
awesome.
I'm just like, where the fuck am I?
And they were
it's everyday life now.
They were so appreciative of the fact I didn't send them a message. I commented on their video, and we'll get to the video here in a second. I commented on their video. Thanks for coming. Much love to you guys. This was probably the highlight of this was probably one of the biggest things in my personal and professional my lives that I've ever been a part of. And Heath from the band, he was the one wearing the Mankind mask.
Okay.
He commented back and said, us too, man, that was incredible. They could not have been more appreciative that we thought of them. They couldn't be more appreciative of the crowd. They couldn't have been more appreciative about how Mick treated them. They just had the night of their lives. And that is great. And I'm so glad that I was able to even be a part of that for them. Like he said, great group of guys. I talked to them too after the thing. Thanks for the shirt. I appreciate it. They had not personalized. They had, I don't even know what you call it. The shirts that they were selling said, the Foleys tap us in, bonus pint September 20. They were bonus pint September 27th shirts.
That's awesome.
Which was so cool.
I didn't even look at those shirts.
I
fucking got one.
Yeah, my dad said the same thing.
I'll give him a call.
Yeah, my dad said the same thing. He was
they're from South Bend. I guarantee I drive up the road on my way to visit as recreational things.
So Matt and Katia bought themselves shirts, and they bought all the staff shirts because it said bonus on the bottom of it. It said bonus pints and had the date.
Fuck, man.
So they wanted to make special shirts for that night. That is the night that they met Mick Foley.
I gotta be honest, and don't take this personally, damn us all, but this was the best time we've ever seen Swisher join in with a fucking band.
Yeah, now we'll get to the video. Now we'll get to the video.
I will say, and it may sound dumb, But it is so cool. Sadly, I didn't get to be there. But at least to hear, you can literally say dreams come true because they never met Mick Foley, and their band is the Foleys. Like,
Right.
That dream come fucking true.
Yeah.
You get to make that fucking happen. That's the coolest thing ever.
That is just like Jason said. It was fucking magical. But the video that is online right now.
Oh, fuck.
That is on Facebook. You haven't seen it?
No, can we pause to watch it real quick?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. And, well, I mean, we don't have to pause the video, but, you know, cut break moment here.
Who posted the video?
The Foleys posted the video, and Matt posted the video. Justin Davis has the best one.
I was gonna say,
look up Justin Davis. Are you friends with him on Facebook?
I don't believe we're friends, but I know I went to school with him. He's the same age as I am, I believe.
So if you can see his page stuff, yeah, there we go. Because he put it on YouTube. Justin put it on YouTube. Have you seen the video?
No.
I mean, I was there, but I want to see how the video goes. 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is like, I think this is their introduction video.
Mick Foley's there.
I know, right?
I love it.
He's like cleaning up all his stuff.
This isn't the one with Swisher.
Oh, it might be a different one.
Yeah.
Well, Swisher just walked by.
Back out of that one. Go back to there. It is that one.
That one.
That's the one you want. Yeah, elbow drop. That's the one you want. Tony's up there with a professional camera too.
Tony's doing some kind of big ass project with all the show stuff too. Like, wait till his cut comes through, man. There's a moment. Yeah.
Matt is just like, I mean,
there was a moment where Mick joined him on the mic, and I thought I was gonna cry.
He like puts his hand, brings him in, and like,
awesome.
yeah.
That right there. Let's see some movement. Who do you think was the person that started moving? I started throwing my elbows at everyone.
That's so awesome.
Matt was on fucking point too. Like, dude, he hit the word so perfectly.
That's awesome.
I mean, this is fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah. I stepped on so many motherfuckers' feet because I was just the whole time in the crowd fucking roaming around.
Yeah, so Matt said, I did not think that my bingo card I was going to check off on my bingo card, shared a mic with Mick Foley during a Ramones cover. Like, was ever going to... Like, who would have thought that would be...
He said for 2024, but I'm pretty sure that covers every bingo card he's ever had.
Yeah, that covers his life.
So, yeah. And the fact that Mick, like, the band went over and said, hey, will you do this? And he's like, absolutely. And they were like, okay, we say elbow drop. And he's like, I'm in. So, like, when they got ready, they were like, are you ready? And he's like, absolutely. Jumped up, got down, got on stage.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's
went.
awesome.
No hesitation, no stop. He was into it the whole entire time. He texted me yesterday, said to make sure that the band knows that he had a lot of fun. He wanted me to know he had a lot of fun, and the band needs to make sure that they tag him in everything that they do. So I got to get a hold of those guys today. Because he wants to be a collaborator, because he wants to send stuff out. He did make a joke. Did you hear him make the joke after the show was over? Or after the song was over? He goes, thank you, that was a lot of fun. And you'll hear from my lawyers tomorrow.
I didn't hear that part.
And Heath goes, if you send us a cease and desist letter, we will frame it and put it on the wall, and we will gladly change our name. And he was like, I'm kidding, I don't care. So, like, he did not care one bit, like, that they were doing that, and he loved every minute of it.
That's awesome.
And, yeah, so he...
I was, all right, I'm always curious with celebrities to get their scale, because TV makes everything look so much different. TV didn't make him look different. That motherfucker was humongous.
Was he?
He was fucking, like, you could tell at his prime he is a scary sumbitch. And, like, he is so lovable and such a nice guy, like, in that setting. But, like, when he would be, like, in wrestling character, like, actually at a show, I could just imagine, like...
Yeah. I mean, he was every bit of 6'4".
Yeah, and I was like... I didn't picture him being that tall because he was always like a like fucking.
Yeah, he was every bit of 6'4".
Yeah,
easily. So when he finished with the video and the band, which was fantastic, he came back, sat at he was gathering stuff up, and he was like, I need to go to the back and do he kind of put everything on his side, and he said, you need me to go back and take the photo with the bar people, right? And I said, yeah. And he goes, okay, let's head back there. So we head back. So we come through the kitchen, and he takes the photo with the group, which was fantastic and great. You can see the smile on my face is 10 miles wide because I just couldn't believe that the whole thing had happened, let alone anything else. We're walking through the kitchen, and he goes, he turns around, and me and Matt are like right there, and Izzy's behind us. Israel's behind us. And he goes, you guys are going to have the Super Suckers here? I love the Super Suckers.
No shit.
And Matt was like, what? And he goes, oh yeah, no, I love the Super Suckers. And Matt was like, they were here a couple of months ago, and they wanted to come back. So yeah, no, they're going to be here in a couple of weeks. And Matt just like went into straight promoter mode, and he goes, do you want to make a video and send it to him? And he's like, absolutely. So he was he grabbed Israel's phone because he didn't have his. And he said, all right. And he hit a record, and he was like, hey, Super Suckers, it's Mick Foley here. I'm like, I love you guys. I've loved you guys ever since. Like, I saw you guys with Steve Earle singing.
Shout out Super Suckers. Ever
since I saw you guys with Steve Earle, something about breaking a window. And he goes, at least I think that was you. And Matt goes, it was them. And he's like, yeah, no, you guys are a fantastic band. I appreciate everything you do. Outlaw country is my jam. Outlaw country is what I love. And you guys do it the best. So I just wanted to give you a shout out. And Matt was like, he hit end, and he's like, I'm going to send this to Eddie Spaghetti. And he goes, I can't believe that just happened.
That's awesome.
Dude, I can't believe that just happened. And
because they recorded a live album at Bonus Pints here soon.
No, I don't know if they're doing that or not.
Then
I don't know.
Okay.
That they had talked about it, but I don't know.
I thought that was a for sure thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's cool. I didn't plan this.
Yeah,
this was in my car. I cleaned out my truck because we're getting ready to go on vacation, and I didn't want all my shit in there. And I was like, oh, look, 2 koozies, the perfect amount for a podcast. So I grabbed them out, and sure enough, Super Suckers.
Yeah, so, so Super Suckers are going to be there in a couple of weeks.
They're great. That was so much fun.
Yeah. And then...
That was the I stole a beer crowd surf.
Yeah.
I got a record.
Yeah, Damn Us All was the one where you flagged.
That's stripper crowd surf. I've had back problems ever since crowd surf.
And then
the Super Sucker one was the one I was there for.
I fucking poured beer on all of us.
Then the 12th is a Saturday, so you get to come to that show too.
Because it's the week before my birthday.
Would you be down to be my surfboard?
I'm down.
All right.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm down.
I think that means that you're going to have to lay flat and he's going to stand on it.
That's yeah. I've done it once before.
I'm down. I'm completely down.
Alex Reyes for that one, and it was at a pretty prolific show. But I remember we both were like, let's crowd surf, and we got up, and I'm like, hey, motherfucker.
I will be
and he loved it. He wrote it.
I'll be your Bonus Pint surfboard. Any show, I'm down.
Yeah.
We got to get...
I gotta get creative.
We gotta get a bunch of really big guys though to be able to hold both.
It works. I get them. The last time.
Hey, if there's enough space, get creative. Do a handstand on my back.
Yeah. There's the last time. I can't remember who I said. I looked at somebody and I go, I hope this guy doesn't mind when I climb the fucking back of him without asking, and then immediately.
That was that Super Suckers.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I just climbed this motherfucker. I never met in my life.
You looked at both of us. You were like, I hope this guy knows I'm scaling him like a motherfucker. And as soon as you were like, all right, and the beat dropped, you're like, motherfucker.
and he was the best support I had the whole time. Like, he was fantastic.
As soon as I saw
into it.
As soon as I saw your legs go up, I'm like, all right, push me up. And he was there underneath you as the base.
That's awesome. So tidbit that neither one of you knew was that he did that when we were walking out, and I just couldn't believe it that he was like, so he was paying attention to his surroundings, and it's just great. I helped him carry his stuff out, and then he was on his way to Kalamazoo, but
it may have to be emo night.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll have to find something else to talk the fucking
dudes. Yeah, we do have emo night next week. As of right now, I think our podcast will be us with all the emo night people.
Yeah, with
Rob, Megan, and Rebecca, if they can all stay and they can all do it. Alex joined us last year, so she's
I was gonna say, I don't think Rebecca joined us last year. It was Alex and Grace.
It was Alex.
It was Megan and Rebecca and Alex. Or not Rebecca, Rob.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Rebecca had to go home.
Yeah, she had to take care of the kids.
Yeah. I think
we kept trying to be like, hey, Tony just stayed over for the podcast.
Yeah. So that's right. It was them. So we may have a whole entire round trip table, which is totally fine.
Yeah, and we'll have another different background.
Yeah. I also know going into it that I think we'll have to be the ones who monitor. Like, we can't talk over each other. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes we talk over each other, but dude, it gets pretty intense with that many people.
The more people you get, the worse it's going to be.
Yeah, it's almost going to have to be a round table discussion.
And I feel like I may take the liberty of being the quiet one a little bit, staying out of the way.
Yeah, and I
cue some questions.
And
everyone can call me an asshole now. I'm just going to, if I see people, I'm going to be like, hey, shut the fuck up.
And the nice part is that, like, this is more, like, especially, like, the people that are going to be on there are closer to your age group.
Yes.
And you know the music and you know the thing. So, I will definitely be quieter. I'll have less.
Well, I don't think we necessarily need to throttle it too much. I just think when it comes to
we just need to
talking
make sure
about emo music, that the guests are the focus.
Right.
To maybe let them talk to each other and stick you in the middle of them. And then it'd be me and Levi kind of handling more technical things, prompting.
And since we're going to be in the store, I'm going to connect my laptop up to the...
It could be a new way of the format for the podcast. As we learn to kind of structure and do things different after, some time. Because how long have we been doing it now? Over a year?
Yeah.
Over a year. Yeah.
Well over a year. I started Magic because of a bit for the podcast.
You did.
And I am like several $1,000s invested.
If you actually want the honest truth, I think we're about 6 weeks past a year.
Okay.
Roughly.
Yeah.
We didn't do a year special.
We did.
Emo night.
Emo night will be our year special. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just gonna be our yearly read.
I keep getting asked what's next.
Probably a piss break.
But yeah, no, we're definitely winding down. I've got some ideas. We've got several ideas for next year, so don't think that we're done.
Yeah.
Mick Foley, Matt said it perfectly. Yesterday, he said, I didn't think that it getting better than how Hacksaw went, and then we had Mick, and now it's like, how do you top Mick? And I've got some ideas.
Can you do me a favor and focus on prop wrestlers? Because wrestlers with props, like Al Snow had a head. You got a 2x4 for fucking Hacksaw, and you got a sock for fucking Mick Foley. Just continue the tradition of them having props because it means a lot.
And now I know it would be the hardest thing ever and probably super expensive, but can we consider Stone Cold? The beer.
Right.
I mean,
the beer is the prop.
I'll bring a live snake for you-know-who.
Hey.
And I'll have him sign it.
My buddy owns a snake.
Yeah. That's fucking... I'll have him sign it alive and get it made into boots. I don't even give a shit.
Alright, we can't
I
do
love
that
animals.
with my buddy's
I love
snake.
animals, but it's...
we know.
We know the name we're talking.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of things that I'm definitely thinking about and working on. Next year will be good. It's 2-year anniversary. I'm shooting for something in May. Definitely do something probably summer, fall-ish.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal is coming to the show. Just kidding. Not really.
Mark Hamill. We've got Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm working on.
He's getting up there, and he's probably getting.
We're bringing Christopher Lee back from the dead.
Christopher Walken is coming, and all we're gonna have him do is film videos of him going Foo Fighters. So, anyway, all right, we're gonna wrap up because obviously it's been an hour, 2 hours.
Well,
1 week since you looked at me.
Count about 3-5 minutes out of that.
I was floating because I have to pee.
Which, in all honesty, you'll have to message the guys, but I want to shove a little bit of the video at the end of
I can do that.
At the end of this.
Yeah.
All right, so this has been Pints and Pages. We talked about Penguin. We talked about Mick Foley. Emo night next Saturday. Bonus pints. Don't forget about it. It'll be fantastic. Great show. Lots of lineup. Lots of bands. Magic tournament at Savini Comics.
Yeah.
So
don't bring the band cards, you fucking fool.
Yeah. Don't bring them. Don't pull them.
Yeah.
We'll have problems. So I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And we will see you next time.
Right here. Nice.